What's going on, everybody? Kalipus Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 10 more tips and tricks for the Motorola Moto G Power 2026. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to make a screen recording. Now this is a bit of a basic feature, but even at this point in 2026, with some of these Android phones, it's really not super obvious. So to create a screen recording, essentially what you're going to do is go to the quick menu. So to do this, swipe down from the top. So 1, 2. One thing I will say about this menu, it is customizable, so if you have done anything with it, then it might not be in this exact spot. But assuming you haven't changed anything, it's going to be somewhere on here. So for me, it's going to be right here. So where it says screen record start, and then keep in mind if you've removed it for whatever reason or you just can't find it, what you can do from this menu is hit this pencil icon right here. And if it's not on the menu, then it's going to be below here in this bottom section, so right here. And to add something, just press and hold, drag it to the other side, and that's pretty much it. So once you've located the screen record button in your quick menu, what you're going to do is just simply tap on the icon, so like this. And you're going to have a couple different options. So first, it's going to ask what you want to record. You have two different options. So first one is the most straightforward. It's pretty much going to be anything that shows up on your screen during the recording. And then you can also have it record a specific app. In addition to this, you can change the audio settings. So by default, it will be system sound, so no microphone or anything like that. It's just going to be whatever sound is coming out of the phone itself. But if you hit this drop down, you can also do microphone, system sound, microphone and system sound, or you can mute it. You can also toggle on camera, so this is going to record yourself as well as the screen. And then finally, touch points. So I'm just going to turn this on but then when you're ready, hit record. There's going to be a countdown right here. And that's pretty much it. So from here, you can use the pen thing. You can do pretty much whatever. But yeah, as you can see, there's this little cursor thing when I'm touching the screen. So pretty useful if you're trying to show someone something you're doing on your phone. And then when you're ready to stop, hit stop right here. And it's going to save to your photos. Now I'm going to show you how to get wider angle photos. Now, if you're trying to take a picture like, say, a group photo or a picture of a building or a large object or scenery or even just a close-up photo of your desk, I personally have had to do that more often than I would have ever expected. Luckily, with the Moto G Power 2026, this phone does have an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera in the camera setup, so this is really easy to do. So first thing you're going to want to do from the main home screen is go to your camera app. And then from here, to get to your ultra-wide camera, all you have to do is hit the 0.5 right here. And as you can see, the angle is much wider, so you can see all the random things on my desk outside this set, so pretty cool. And then, of course, to go back to normal, just hit the 1 right here. And that's it. And then in addition to this, now that I'm looking at it, I might as well show you the exact opposite, which is the macro camera. And with this, it's going to be this flower icon right here. And with the macro camera, you can get some close-up detailed images, so definitely a nice feature to have, and I will say, in my experience, it does work really well. But one thing I will point out is that when you're done with the macro mode, be sure to go back to the 1. So again, it's right here. Because otherwise everything's going to show up blurry, which of course you don't want when you're not taking macro photos, so definitely keep that in mind. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your refresh rate. Now, in case you don't know, this phone does have a 120 Hz refresh rate, which this feature is going to make the movement on the screen a bit faster and smoother, which gives you a bit more of a premium experience. But that being said, if you're really trying to save battery life, you might want to lower it a bit, especially if you don't really care about that kind of thing. So to do this, what you're going to do is go to Settings. Then from here, go to Display. So right here. And then from here, go to where it says Display Refresh Rate. So right now by default it's smart and balanced, which it's going to make it a bit more adaptive. So depending on what you're doing with your phone, it's going to change it to 120 or 60 depending on what's going on. So this is going to kind of give you the best of both worlds. On one hand, when you don't really need it, it's going to be off, and that's going to save a little bit more battery, but at the same time, when you do want that smoother motion, it's going to kind of predict it. So you still will get that 120 Hz feeling when you need it. That being said, you can also change it to hyper smooth. So with this, it's going to be on the whole time. So obviously it's going to drain a bit more battery, but it's also going to give you more of a premium feel. And then finally, efficiency first. So it's going to be 60 Hz the whole time. Now, in my experience, I feel like it only really matters so much. Then again, I mean, for me personally, I'm pretty much always around a charger when I'm not actively using my phone for something right in the moment. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. But for me personally, I feel like the refresh rate is like the last thing that's really going to drain the battery that much. But if you are trying to be a bit more efficient, then it is definitely still a nice option to have. Now, speaking of saving battery, the next thing I'm going to show you is the battery saver. Now, keep in mind this can be added to the quick menu if it's not in yours already. So let's take a look at that. I think it's in mine. So right here, you can just tap on it and it's going to turn right on. But the normal way to get to it is going to your settings. Then from here, go to the main settings menu. From here, go to battery. And then from here, go to battery saver. And to toggle it on, you can just hit this right here. And this is also what's going to happen when you open the quick menu. So that's going to be this right here. But in addition to this, if you're really in a situation where you need to save as much battery as possible, you can also turn on maximum battery saver. So this is going to restrict things pretty much all the way. And if you're in a situation where it's like, yeah, I really need my phone to not die right now, in that kind of situation, that's really what this is for. Definitely not if you're just like casually out and you're in low power mode. So yeah, the thing is basically hardly doing anything at this point. So not even a background. So they're really not kidding when they say maximum battery saver. So definitely don't have this on unless you really need it. And that brings me to my next point with the battery saver. Yeah, it is a great feature to use if your phone is dying, but at the same time, if you're at like 90 something percent, then you really just don't need it on unless, again, if you're in a kind of extreme or really kind of situational moment when you absolutely have to save as much battery as possible, then yeah, sure, go for it. But for normal use, you're really not going to want this on unless you're in like 20% or something like that. Now I'm going to show you how to turn on flash notifications. Now, I get questions about this constantly, so hopefully this will help. But to turn this on, all you have to do is go to settings. Then from here, go to notifications, so right here. From this menu, go down to general, and then flash notifications are right here. So yeah, you got a couple different options. There's screen flash, which I feel like is a little less popular, and you can change the color too. So as you can see right now, it is yellow, but if we tap on this, you can change it to any of these colors. So I'm just going to preview that real quick. So yeah. And then in addition to this, the normal flash notifications that people are always asking me about, that's going to be camera flash right here. So if I toggle it on, and then I'm going to hit preview. So yeah, definitely a nice option to have. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to turn on your flashlight, because of course, why would you not want a quick way to do something that you can simply open from the quick menu? Just kidding, it's somewhere around here, but regardless, if you want to turn on your flashlight really quickly and conveniently, keep in mind this feature is on by default, but all you have to do is make a chopping motion like this. And there we go. So definitely a cool feature, and then it turns off the same way. It is a little bit to get used to, but once you get it down, it is pretty easy. And then if you do want to disable this, maybe you've accidentally turned it on one too many times, all you have to do is go to settings. Then from here, go to the gestures menu. So right here. And then from here, go to kinetic gestures. So right here, fast flashlight is right here. And then toggle this off. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to show you how to use split screen. So this is cool for multitasking. I'm personally not like the biggest fan of it, but I can still definitely see its value. So I'm going to show you the long way first and then a shortcut. So to start off, we're just going to go to a random app. So you're going to want to have both apps you want to split screen open at the same time. So I'm going to open another one, just the settings, because I'm boring like that. To turn on split screen, what you're going to do is go to the app you want on top. So in this case, Google Chrome, hit recent apps, hit the drop down up here, and then go to split screen. So yeah, pretty straightforward, and then you can resize it however you want. And then to get out of split screen, drag it all the way up or all the way down. But in addition to this, there is a shortcut. So to get to the shortcut, we're going to go to settings. From here, go to gestures. So right here. And then from this menu, go to swipe to split and enable this. And now with it on, as you can see on these little on-screen instructions, but essentially when it does work, all you have to do is swipe back and forth. So like this. And then from here, just select your second app. And there we go. Now I'm going to show you a feature called adaptive brightness. So as the name implies, this is going to make your brightness a little bit more adaptive. So right now I have mine at 100% because that's just how I use my phone. I'm pretty much always at 100%. But if you want to conserve battery a little bit while still having as much visibility as you need, adaptive brightness is a nice feature to use. So what we're going to do for this is go to settings. From here, go to display. So right here. Then from here, adaptive brightness is right here. And once we toggle it on, as you can see, it adjusts right away. So yeah, definitely nice if you're trying to conserve battery. For me, I like to have it at 100%, but at the end of the day, it's really up to personal preference. Now I'm going to show you how to change your display size and text. So this is going to be in the display menu once again. So settings, display. And then from here, just go to display size and text. And we're going to have a couple different options. So you can change the font size. So that makes it like this. And then display size, this is going to make things bigger and smaller just in general. And then you can also use bold text and outline text. So if you want some options for visibility, this definitely does help. In addition to this, you can also change the icon size. So that's going to be in a slightly different spot. So back on the home screen, what we're going to do is go to that home screen settings area. So press and hold your finger on a blank spot. Then from here, go to home settings. And then from here, go to where it says icon size. And you can change this. So by default, it's going to be right in the middle. You can make it really big or really small. So it is, of course, up to you. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. So pretty simple feature, but essentially for this, you're going to go to settings. From here, go to display. And then from here, go to screen timeout. So it's going to be down here, right here. So yeah, as you can see here, I have mine to 30 minutes, which is pretty long. I feel like the average person only needs like 2 to 5 minutes. But you can also have it super short if you want. Maybe you're trying to conserve battery, or maybe it's just for security. But then in addition to this, I also have a feature on called attentive display. And what this does is it uses the front-facing camera to detect your face. So as long as you're looking at it, it stays on. And while it sounds like it might not be the most reliable, I will say from my personal experience, pretty much every phone that has this feature has it pretty much exactly the same. It does work. It's not maybe the best thing, but in my opinion, if you're on your phone a lot, it is definitely worth turning on. But this concludes my tips and tricks video for the Motorola Moto G Power 2026. If you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my other videos about it on the channel. But that's it for this one. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you in the next one.